you a business owner who's fed up with feeling like you have to be a boss babe CEO, whatever the hell that is, or hustle 24/7 in order to be successful? Well, if you're ready to do things in a smarter way, welcome to Life in Business. This is the podcast for women just like you who want an easy and effective way to grow your business that's built around genuine work-life balance and not a multi-million-pound empire. I'm your podcast host, Libby Langley, award-winning business coach and known as the Ease Queen because of my sensible and easy-to-implement ways to earn more by doing less. In Life in Business, I'm going to share with you how to make small but effective tweaks, how to be confident in your business decisions, and how to make a healthy and guilt-free profit doing exactly what you love most without working 14 hours a day. So get ready to make your dreams a reality. Here's this week's episode.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Life in Business podcast. I'm Libby Langley, and if you're new around here, welcome. It's very nice to have you here. Very much enjoy recording this podcast and knowing that you're listening to it in your ears. It feels like a very intimate experience. And I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful that you allow me into your ears and into your brain. And I'm also extremely grateful and extremely thankful for the feedback that I get, the positive feedback I get from people, and how I know that already, because this is only episode 16, we're quite early days with this podcast as a whole, how much it's making a difference to people's lives and people's businesses. So someone said to me recently that they have listened to my podcast and my episode, particularly about prioritizing happiness, which I think was episode 13, and how they follow quite a lot of business coaches online and listen to various podcasts, but I'm one of the very few who will actually talk about happiness. It's all practical stuff or go-getty stuff or things like that, but actually the fact that I talk a lot about whether you're happy or not in your business is really unique. And I love that. I love that somebody said that, picked up on that, and enjoys listening to my podcast and kind of following me as a result of that. So yay, that makes me happy. And as you know, happiness matters. So we're all happy. So that's good. Fantastic. But today I want to talk to you about something kind of a bit different. I want to talk to you about ways you can triple your turnover. And the reason this is different, because I'm all about earning more, that, working less and earning more. But normally I talk about profit. And today I'm going to kind of talk about turnover. And they are different, right? Your turnover is basically the amount of money that you bring in. So the amount of sales that you make. And then your profit is what's left after you've spent all your things, right? So after you've paid for your email subscription, to ConvertKit or whatever tool that you use, or if you've paid out for your broadband or bought a new computer or been to a business event or paid staff, anything like that's all paid yourself. And that's all what's left is your profit there. Okay, and I talk about that a lot, and certainly there are podcast episodes that I've recorded that talk specifically about that. And also, if you've not yet read my book, Life in Business, Work Less, Easy Ways, just trying to remember what it was called, Life in Business, Easy Ways to Work Less, Earn More and Embrace True Happiness. There are bits in that book, various chapters in that book about profit and why profit kind of matters so much. But today, like I say, we're talking about turnover. And when you see people, the dreaded people online talk about 10k months being the goal and all of that, they're talking about turnover. Okay, so they're not talking about profit. So there's no mention of how much it costs to get you to that 10k month, which, as you know, is another little bugbear of mine. And again, if you've read my book, there's lots about that in there. So let's talk turnover. Okay. Tripling your turnover is never going to be a bad thing. Because if you are following the kind of guidance that I set out, then tripling your turnover won't necessarily mean tripling your profit, but it will certainly mean that your profit increases, okay? Because the way that I actively encourage people and I coach people to run their businesses is so that there always is one eye on profit, okay? So we're not just talking about bunging a load of extra costs into your business, like Facebook ads, for example, in order to increase your turnover. This is much kind of smarter than this, okay? So, first thing I would suggest if you want to triple your turnover is, drum roll, review your prices. How did you know I was going to say that? The more you charge per customer, basically, the more you make. And that's just really simple. It's just really simple maths, okay? And if you're saying, I'm saying this to you and you're thinking, well, I can't just triple my prices. Let me tell you one thing. I know for a fact that you will be undercharging, okay? And the reason I know that for a fact is that women in business particularly are chronic underchargers. And I think the reason is that it's very difficult for us women to kind of value what we offer in terms of monetarily value what we offer. And the reason for that is that women are, because of the patriarchal society and all of that, we are the nurturers, the caregivers, the ones who do the stuff, the ones who sort things out. And that's not chargeable, right? That's just stuff that we do, okay? We do above and beyond all the time, just in ordinary everyday life. And so when it comes to business, we don't charge enough. We simply just don't charge enough because we don't we don't add a monetary value onto everything that we do and what we offer because we're caring, we're nurturing, we're, not valuing ourselves at all. So tripling your prices will probably triple your turnover, okay? And it's not as kind of what's the word, sort of avant-garde or maverick or something as I may make it sound, because you're undercharging, so your prices need to go up anyway, right? Let's just agree that now. So you can increase what you charge, and you just make more money without having to find any extra customers. Okay, and yes, some you'll lose some customers, of course you will, but you'll get other customers, and But the premise of what I'm saying is that a really simple way to triple your turnover is just to triple your prices. You can also, in a kind of less daunting way, you can also upsell things to existing customers, and it depends on the nature of your business. Okay, so you might be able to add. I don't know, if you're a coach, for example, like I'm a coach, if somebody wants to book a shorter program, you could upsell them to a longer program. Or they're in a longer program, you can add some VIP one-to-one stuff on as well. There are lots of ways that you can upsell to people without it being like some, I don't know, like you're buying a car and you have to pay extra for your footwell mats. What do you call them? Foot mats. The things that go in the footwell, the things that go in the footwell in cars. I'm not talking about something like that. What I'm talking about is adding extra value that is chargeable and relevant, and to make the business experience of a customer working with you better. Okay. You can also look under the bonnet. There's a lot of car analogies today. Didn't realise that. We just had a new car delivered today, so maybe that's why. Maybe I'm thinking about that. But you can also look under the bonnet in your business. And by that, I mean finding the hidden money in your business. And I've talked about this in previous podcast episodes, and I will talk about it again. So I'm not going to go into too much detail today. But by looking at what's coming in and what's going out of your business, you've got hidden money in there that you can uncover, okay? And when I've worked with clients on this, in an hour-long session, I've helped, these 3 examples, clients find £980, £1,250 and £2,500. And that's not a bad return on an hour-long coaching session, I say. So if you're interested in having one of those, get in touch with me. Best place to get in touch with me is always Instagram, really. To DM me, message me on Instagram. I'm at Libby Langley. You can find me all over the internet, but Instagram's kind of the place I hang out the most. So looking under the bonnet of your business and seeing what's coming in, what's going out, you'll find hidden money, okay, particularly. And then the second way that you can triple your turnover is to free up your time. And this maybe sounds a bit kind of backwards, because you might be thinking, well, hang on a minute, if I free up more time, surely that's hours I'm not working. And I say to you, yes, that's exactly the point. Because I am fairly sure, like I'm, almost guarantee that you are undercharging what you're offering, I can pretty much guarantee that some of your time is spent just faffing about on stuff that doesn't really need to happen. Some of your time will be spent on tasks that actually you can outsource to somebody else, such as a VA, who will be able to, I don't know, things like creating Canva graphics for your Instagram, for your social media. Or if you write a blog, somebody will be able to repurpose that into 5 different snippets that you can then share on social media. Things like that, that take a lot of time in your business, that actually that time could be better spent for you either looking after more clients. So the more you're not doing the kind of, I don't know, then, they're jobs that need doing, but let's call them faffy jobs just because we know what we're talking about there. So the more that you are not doing those kind of faffy jobs, right? The more that somebody who is skilled and experienced in those jobs that can do them far better than you anyway, the more space that you have to be able to service more clients and get more clients, because sales time is important time. So sales time is having conversations in messages on Messenger, on Facebook, on LinkedIn messages, on Instagram, direct messages in the DMs. All of that is kind of sales time, conversations, going out to networking events, meeting people, talking to people. That stuff is income generating stuff, okay? Conversations are how you generate income. And the more you can free yourself up from making Canva graphics and get someone else to do that for you, the more people you can go out and meet, the more conversations you have, the more clients you can get. And because you've outsourced your Canva graphics to somebody else, the more time you've also got to service all these lovely new clients, okay? So outsourcing, freeing up your time is a really great way to allow yourself the time and headspace in order to be able to triple your turnover, to be able to focus on your kind of income generating activity, which is conversations. And on that thought, I would also say, as I call it, the kind of busy work almost, say no to some of it. Just say no to some of this stuff. Do you need to do it? Not really. You probably don't really need to colour code all your spreadsheets. Oh my God, I can't even believe I've said that, because it's one of the single greatest pleasures in life. However, it's busy work, it's faffing. Does it make any more money in the business? No, it doesn't. Does it look pretty and make you happy? Yes, it does. So, it's about finding the balance, okay, right? And spending time on things that work. And if you're invited to meetings that aren't useful, interesting or relevant, if people want calls with you who aren't interesting, relevant or useful, then you can say no to all this stuff, okay? If clients don't meet your needs, you don't like working with them anymore, you've changed your business but they're historical clients and you're still doing stuff, or they're paying you 45 quid for something that should be 300 quid, you can say no to all of that stuff. Okay, and free up your time for the good things. So setting clear boundaries and saying no to things, and recognising that what task you're doing may be actually really, if we're totally honest, kind of irrelevant, faffing. There. And we all do it. We absolutely all do it. I'm as guilty as anyone, particularly when it comes to colour coding spreadsheets. I mean, that's a blissful day, absolutely. And fine, you make that choice in your business if that's what you're going to do, but it ain't going to triple your turnover. And this is not about 24/7 hustling. This is not about work. You know that I do not believe in that. I do not subscribe to that. I do not coach any of my clients to be like that. But I do believe in working less and earning more. And so in order to do that, you've got to have boundaries, and you kind of got to be strict with yourself. Because if you want to take Fridays off every week, if you want to not work Fridays, you got to say no to colour coding your spreadsheets. Okay. Outsource that to someone else, or just don't make it perfect. Look, and it does really pain me to say that. It does really, because it's something I love doing. But I recognise it. I recognise it in myself, and I recognise that this is something that can be a massive time sucker, and ultimately ain't going to make a blind bit of difference. Okay, and I'll probably never look at the spreadsheet again anyway. So you don't need to do that. Okay, and then the third way you can triple your turnover involves an investment. Well, the second one, freeing up your time, involved in investment as well, because I talked about outsourcing. But the third one involves an investment, and that's to invest in a coach or mentor who can basically show you the way. Okay? Speculate to accumulate does apply here, and I am a huge advocate of paying the right people to give you the right support to get where you need to be. And I talk in my book, Life in Business, I talk about an experience that I had back in 2015 with exactly this. Now, I started my business in 2011, and pretty quickly I joined various masterminds and entrepreneurial groups to learn more. So I've always believed in investing myself. I've been to conferences in San Diego, 8 times altogether. And that's not an inexpensive thing to do. But I know that the value that I've got from doing that, and the people that I've met from doing that, have been really, really good for me and my business. So back in 2015, that was the first time I invested in one-to-one coaching. So like I said, been in group programs and masterminds before that. I've been to conferences and stuff before and since that. But this was my first experience of one-to-one. And so 2013, we're in 2023. So a few years ago, and I'd been in business for 4 years. So I was not brand new to business, but I certainly wasn't long in the tooth back then particularly. And I'd been following a business coach on Facebook for a while. All the days when you did that on Facebook. Not Instagram or LinkedIn, but Facebook isn't what it was, But I'd been following this person on Facebook, and I liked her style. I liked her kind of pizzazz that she had, and particularly I liked the way that she talked about the online world. And I'd been doing a lot of stuff online. That wasn't a new world to me particularly, but I knew I could get better at it. So I invested a total of £6,000 over 3 months with this person. It was £2,000 a month for a minimum of 3 months. That was a lot of money back in 2015. And it's still not an insignificant amount of money now, absolutely. But I believed that she would be able to help me achieve the thing that I wanted to do. I wasn't sure that I could do it myself. So I was looking for confidence, some new skills, accountability, and to this specific outcome that I had. And in that 3-month period, I generated 20 grand from the 6 grand investment. Absolutely, because of that 6 grand investment, I got 20 grand back. And so that is 3 and a bit times the return on investment. And that was a big chunk of new turnover. 20 grand was a big chunk of new turnover for me back in 2015. And like I said, it's absolutely not to be sniffed at now. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it's back in 2015. I keep saying that because I was much earlier on in business than I am now. And I took a punt. I'd never had one-to-one coaching before. I took a gamble. I took a punt. And this woman was in Australia. I never met her. We used to do our calls via Skype. Remember that? It was 7:30 in the morning for me because that was the time difference. But yeah, that's how we did it. And I knew that I needed help. My business was great, but I knew that I wanted to do something different and like oomph a bit. And she was the person, and it worked. And why I'm telling you this is that in order to do things like tripling your turnover, sometimes you've just got to invest in the right person who's going to help you get there. Trying to do it on your own can be really hard work. So yes, you can review all your prices, change your prices, look at where money is going out that you don't necessarily need to go out. You can free up your time. You can outsource some bits and bobs. You can say no to stuff. All that you can do, and all that is going to make a difference. But if you're really keen, you're really committed, you really want to do stuff, you got to bring in the big guns, you know? And that's exactly the kind of thing that I work with my clients on. I'm not the kind of coach who will say, let's get you to 10k months, as you know, because I don't believe that, but I don't believe in that. But I am absolutely a coach that you can invest in, who will give you utter clarity in what your business delivers, what you stand for, what your mission is, what your goal is, the confidence to go out there and talk to people about it, and the easy breezy confidence. I'm not talking bullshit confidence. I'm talking just like that inner glorious, this is what I'm meant to be doing. That kind of confidence. I did an episode a couple of weeks ago about confidence in your business that you might want to go and listen to, episode 14, that was. And accountability as well, because we're all really good at saying, yeah, we'll do it. And then we don't do it. But if you've invested in a coach who's been there, done that, bought multiple t-shirts and will help you, you're paying them to get you where you want to be or to achieve your goal, achieve your objective, they're going to make sure that you do. But in a nice, gentle, kind of low energy, chill way. It doesn't have to be bang, 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 30 calls a day. Haven't you done it yet? That's not what I'm about. You can have somebody like that if you want. There are people out there who will coach you like that, but that's not how I work. I'm very much believe in collaborative relationships with my clients, where I give what you need and support you in the way that you need it, rather than pushing you horribly out of your comfort zone, into chaos that isn't what you want in life, isn't what you want out of your business. So if you want to ever talk to me about coaching, how it works, what it is, what it means to you, anything like that, and find out kind of what the experience is really like, then just get in touch with me. Message me on Instagram or LinkedIn, wherever you hang out, and we can get on a completely free call and kind of talk about what the experience is like and what your hopes and dreams are and what you want to achieve. Okay? Which is great. It's a lovely way to just have a really nice, gentle conversation about what you want, and then see how I can help you get there. And the mix of practical tips like I've given you today, coupled with the confidence and nurturing and limiting belief changes and mindset work, oh my goodness, it's a magical conversation. It's a magical combination. And I love it. I absolutely love coaching people. So if you would like some quick instant tips as well, then there's tons in my book, right? I talked about my book already in this episode, but my book, Life in Business, you can get it on Kindle or paperback on Amazon. It's well worth the read. It's well worth the very small investment that it is to buy a book, but it will help you, get more of an idea of the kind of ethos that I have. And if that resonates with you, then absolutely, investing in coaching might be something that you want to do, but absolutely something you can talk about with me before you take the plunge. I certainly wouldn't say, right, here's the link to give me your credit card, because that's, we don't know if we're a right fit. Okay, right. So I've talked today about 3 ways to triple your turnover. And what I hope that you implement some of these things and you do increase your turnover. And I want to know about that. So message me on Instagram and tell me about it. But just to quickly recap them for you, review your prices. You will be undercharging. You know that. I know that. Everybody knows that. So review your prices, raise your prices. Raising your prices will increase your turnover. Simple fact. Upsell per customer. Are there ways that you can add a VIP bonus or something? It wouldn't be a bonus. Don't charge for bonuses, but add a VIP experience onto something with your clients. Okay. And that's huge value for them, not just money for money's sake. Look under the bonnet in your business and see where money's going out that shouldn't be going out, and that will put more money in your pocket. Like I say, I've helped in an hour session. I helped 3 clients get between 980 and 2.5 grand. Okay, by going through an exercise like that with them. Free up your time. The more time you've got, the more you have available for clients and for servicing clients and for chatting to new clients, for getting to know people and generating new clients. Say no to stuff, stop faffing about, outsource what you can, and then invest in the right coach or mentor for you who will get you, actually help you, support you, hold your hand, use their experience to get you where you want to be. So if you do all those things, you're going to easy peasy triple your turnover, if not 10 times your turnover. And you will be happier, you will be working less, because that's the smart way to do it, and life will be super rosy for you. So thank you very much for joining me today. Don't forget to review this podcast. It means I haven't mentioned that for a few weeks. It's really important, because the more reviews there are, the more the algorithm recommends it to people and all that shizzle. And we like more people listening, because the more people that listen, the more people have more successful businesses, the more money they've got to help other people and other small businesses, and the happier everybody is and the better a place the world is throughout. So thank you for joining me today. It's been great to talk to you about this. Go forth and triple your turnover. I will see you next time. Lots of love. Thank you for listening to Life in Business. Please make sure you subscribe or follow so you don't miss any future episodes. If you enjoyed today's show, please leave a review, as it helps others to find the podcast and spread the word that there is an easier way to do business. If you want to chat with me about today's episode or suggest a topic for the future, I'd love to hear from you. You can find me on Instagram @Libby Langley. See you next week.